What's up, everybody? This is Devin White, linebacker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You're listening to the LCC Network. Go Bucks.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Commissioner's Clubhouse on the LCC Network for our four-part Little Credit Clubhouse Power Ranking. But we also have a very special treat for you guys in this episode, and we are doing our first mock draft heading into our draft here in the next couple weeks. And with me today, I've got Jordan and Mafali back on the show. What's going on, you guys?
Hey, good Friday, everybody.
Yeah, nice to do a Friday show. First one I've done on a Friday, so ready to go.
It's so nice knowing that I'm recording at 10:30 at night and I don't have to wake up early in the morning.
Yeah,
That's such a relief. Usually we're
Yeah,
doing
I was
this.
already complaining what time it was.
No, no. Usually we're doing this like almost just as late, except we got to work in the morning or something. So this is nice. This is a nice change of pace. But yeah, we are not going to spend as much time on the actual power ranking part just because there's a lot more to talk about, obviously, in the mock draft. And we're going to kind of just roll with it. We haven't done a lot of prep work for it, so it's going to be kind of instantaneously making decisions as we go. Each of us can be drafting for uh, certain picks, so it's going to go, I think we decided it'll be, is it Jordan, me, Steven, or is it Jordan, Steven, me? I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either, but
We'll say it's
I
you.
guess it doesn't really.
Yeah, we can like both of you guys and I can go or something like that.
All
fine
right.
with me.
All right. So let's start it off. We don't really have any news and notes for you guys for this episode, so we're just gonna hop into business. And our first team that we're gonna talk about here, and we're gonna work from worst to first from last year's records at least. We have got Step Rose Fantasy Company. New rookie GM Matt McCarson is inheriting a 4-8 team from Storm Keller, who had single-handedly wrecked this franchise, to say the least. He's got a first round, second round, third round, fourth, fifth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th round picks. So plenty of picks compared to most people, at least. And he has an okay starting roster, but I'm interested to hear your guys' take here with him having, no quarterback yet, no true RB1, no true linebacker one. Like, he's kind of going in here almost fresh.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
like you said, he didn't really have much to work with, but Kareem Hunt, if he catches some passes, that's his biggest upside, obviously. But I thought that my biggest thing with Matt is that I think he could have done a lot better in the waiver draft. He has Debo Samuel and Denzel Perryman, who he took, and I think he could use those picks to maybe shore up his roster a little bit more. But in terms of his three keepers, I thought did a pretty solid job. I mean, Mac, has plenty of upside. I know he's dealt with some injuries the last couple of years, but if he could shake those, he could easily put on another, close to 20 sack season. And then Von Bell to me is somebody who I think is a little bit, overlooked because I think a lot of people focus on Jesse Bates there more so than Von Bell in Cincinnati. But, both have seen to do pretty well out there. And I think Von Bell can have a pretty good year. And for me, like you said, he just got to shore up, those one positions, the QB1, RB1, and linebacker one. So, how will he, do that in the draft? And maybe we'll see what we mock draft for him in a little while. But other than that, I think, the big thing for me was his waiver wire. I thought he could have done a lot better.
not a big fan of C Company. I do like the two starting defenders he has in Khalil Mack and Von Bell. I think Steve hit it on the head when he said he could have been a little more productive in the waiver draft, especially seeing a little bit of Panther camp play out. Denzel Perriman has probably had like two practices under his belt. I don't know how much of the field he's even going to see at this point, but maybe he can have a big play guy in Debo. But he'll have certain weeks where Kareem can go off, but it's just hard to be a consistent player behind someone like Nick Chubb. But I'll be interested to see what he does. Speed and pick. I think he has 7 overall.
Yes.
So he really needs to hit a home there and try to start really building this roster for future seasons.
Yeah, I agree. Otherwise, I'm not saying he's got to trade this season away or anything, but he does got to play it smart. You know, like if he goes too much into win now mode and draft a bunch of guys who kind of are at the end of their career, then it's going to be tough. You know, because chances are he's still going to struggle this year, and then next year he doesn't have anything to build off of either. I would have liked to see this team get a rookie, I think, to really build off of long term, but it didn't happen, and this is where they are uh, heading into draft day, which I think we could probably all agree that is probably our least favorite team in the division at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty easy, for sure.
So our next team here, we've got the EASTSIDE BRAWLERS. GM John Nugent, who's been here since the founding season back in 2010. He finished 6-6 last year, barely missed the playoffs by a game. You know, he's got plenty of picks here in the kind of middle part of the draft, but not many early ones. He has a 110 and a 310. After that, isn't picked till the 615. But most of his roster is pretty much solidified, as our viewers can see on the screen right now. Sam Darnold, Robbie Anderson, Miles Sanders kind of at the offensive side. And the defensive side really is the impressive part. Landon Collins and Blake Martinez. I think Kwity Paye offers some upside as a rookie defensive end. And, of course, you got Javon Holland, which we have to see how he performs as a rookie safety. But definitely something to look forward to there as maybe a flex player for this team.
Yeah, I think you know, going to the waiver draft again, I like what he did. You know, kind of hoping for some Jets flashbacks there with Darnold and Anderson. You know, reuniting in Carolina, which I know he's a fan of as well. So I guess that worked out for him. But for me, like you said, I really like what he has on his roster already. I mean, Miles Sanders might not be a solidified RB1, but he's definitely a safe RB2 and has some RB1 potential possibly. And Kwity Paye to me is just like a freak of nature. So you know he has crazy upside. And then Blake Martinez and Landon Collins are both solid, safe veterans who are arguably top 10 at their positions. So I think he's already coming into the year with a pretty solid roster for sure. Obviously there's questions about the wide receiver 1 and QB1, but wide receivers, there's so many of them in the draft he can go get. And if Darnold, slings it a lot, he can still put up good fantasy value. So really for him, he's covered all his bases, and I really like his roster.
Yeah, I think he can go out and get a wide receiver 1 besides having Robbie on his roster, but I do think a lot of his success is going to hinge on Sam Darnold. And even as a Panther fan, I'm not completely sold that that's going to happen. If he could do all these things, like hit the weapons that he has, use his legs a little bit, Mr. Nuge can all of a sudden have a really good team. I like his defense. I mean, starting off with Blake Martinez and Landon Collins. And I am probably a bigger fan of Miles Sanders than some. I feel like the Eagles are going to want to run the football and check it down to him with Jalen Hurts playing. So I like all that going. It'll just really be up to whether Sam is ready to put up fantasy numbers or not.
Yeah, I agree. I think more than anything, I like this team's defense and the offense. Sam Darnold is kind of a liability, I would say, just because we haven't seen him really play a full season at a top level, honestly, in his career due to injuries and so forth, and just being on a terrible franchise in New York. And then Robbie Anderson's solid, but I think I would not be surprised if we see my dad go out there and get a receiver and with either the 110 or the 310, just to solidify that position. With the first pick, though, it could literally be anything because he can go in any direction he wants. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. But I definitely like this team a lot. I think it definitely has the capability of competing for the playoffs for sure. either as a wild card team, maybe the division. But again, this is the quarterback play. I think, especially when you compare to the next two teams, I don't feel that Sam Darnold is in the same level of play as you guys are about to see here with our next team, which is Jordan's, the Afternoon Delights. We finished 7-5 last year, has the 117, the 208, the 317, the 408, the 421, the 517, the 523, and it just keeps going. So he has plenty of ammunition, but when you look at his roster, it's solid. You got Matt Ryan, who I think a lot of people, even with Julio Jones gone, I think a lot of people still think of Matt Ryan as 100% a top 15 guy. I think he's still a top 12 guy, just because of the way their offense is kind of built. But Nick Chubb, Jonathan Taylor, I mean, the offense is loaded, and Brandon Ayuk is going to be interesting this year. It's the defense part where, Jordan, I'm sure you're already planning on making some moves at draft day to build that up a little bit. So at the moment, it's Jamal Adams and Chris Barnes. And as much hype as I gave Chris Barnes, I'm sure you feel better having another linebacker there, just as a cushion.
Yeah, I'm the greatest there ever was. I wake up in the morning, it's excellence.
That's right.
But, no, I agree with you. I like my offensive start a lot better than my defensive sides. Do feel like Jamal Adams is the best safety in fantasy, but I do need to solidify linebacker. I'm hoping Chris Barnes can hit, especially after, like you said, you talked him up. But I cannot put my eggs in the Chris Barnes basket, so I got to make something shake right there. And I'm not too worried about filling out. I feel like I can find a solid defensive lineman somewhere and things like that. But I would definitely like an upgrade at linebacker at this point, and probably an upgrade over Ayuk would make me feel more comfortable. But having those two running backs makes me feel like I'm off to a solid start every week. So I'm going to try to build around that.
Yeah. No, I mean, like you said, you've got the ammunition to add. So 100%,
Yeah.
I think you could easily do all of those things and probably more.
What do you think? What do you think about me, Steve?
Oh man, nothing good, that's for sure. But I'll go ahead and put on something decent for the viewers here. I'll refrain from saying what I really think. Well, first off, I think the first thing with me, being always thinking about trades is I don't know if Jordan's going to still have the same offensive core when it comes to draft day. I know he's probably shopping around some of these running backs. A lot of people want them, so who knows? Something might explode come draft day. But in terms of his like actual roster now as it is, I still like it. I've been saying it like for the last few podcasts. I think linebackers, you can either get them off waivers, or you can get them kind of later in the draft. There's always plenty of guys who end up just being in good situations for tackles, even if they're not great players. It's just then that's all fantasy cares about is just how many tackles you get. But and then if you can get I like Ayuk a lot and Barnes as like solid number twos, but not number ones. And if you could just like solidify like your wide receiver one maybe. And Ayuk could be a wide receiver one for sure, but you don't have to really reach on a wide receiver, but it could help. And then once you get a DN, but there's actually a lot of good DNs in the draft, so I'm sure with one of these middle picks here, you can get a really solid defensive line built. So I think a really good start, and it definitely Matt Ryan is somebody that people are still sleeping on, but I think he'll have a good year.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we'll move on to the last teams. We've got to keep it moving for the mock draft here. And we've got the greatest team, actually better than Jordan's. No, I'm just kidding.
Not even close.
No, this is my team, ROEBUCK Leprechauns. I went 8-4, won the division last year, and then lost in the conference championship. What else is new? I don't have the draft capital, but I pretty much got my starting lineup for the most part settled. Of course, I'd much rather have a better receiver than Cortland Sutton. I'm hoping someone falls to the 5th round or able to trade up or something. But, as you can say, Alvin Kamara, Chase Young, Zaven Collins, Jalen Smith, Antoine Winfield, Jalen Hurts, and Cortland Sutton are my current roster. That's it.
Yeah, definitely 100% a solid second place team. Solid second place team. So I respect it, but no, you made the big move to go get Alvin. Somebody thinks you overpaid or not, you can't overstate the value he brings to a fantasy team. So you're set there. Chase
Yeah.
Young, a lot of people think going to be a top 5 to 10 guy the next 5 to 6 years. We'll see about Xavier Collins. I know Steve has always talked about. It's weird to talk about it on the defensive side, but so many mouths to feed with tackles between Xavier Collins and Buda Baker, and is Isaiah Simmons going to take a step? And um, but I like Winfield. Yeah, I believe you acquired him through trade, right?
Yeah, I did. Actually, I got Winfield
Yeah.
and Jalen Smith and Alvin Kamara through trades early in the offseason.
Yeah, so those are 3 heavy hitters that you made happen in the offseason. So you definitely solidified a starting roster. And we'll see if you can finagle some depth with the capital you have. I mean, you don't have some. You could definitely get somebody at that 517, but you're definitely going to have to be really selective with your depth. Uh, and a lot, like I said with Mr. Nuge, you could all of a sudden be 10 times better if Jalen Hurts comes out and looks like a mini Cam Newton or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm hoping.
Like
I'm
prime
hoping.
Cam Newton. But so yeah, with his legs, that could take you to the next level. And sadly for me, shift you from a second place team to a first place team. But yeah, I like the direction you're headed, and you did a lot of it out of season, which Mufali's probably a fan of.
Yep, for sure. So, definitely Alvin Kamara I like, and based off of what I've been hearing, other running backs might be going for. I think you got a great deal for him. I think if you had waited, you would have cost you way more. Probably definitely future picks for sure. But definitely love him and Young. They're both top 5 players at their position and could be for at least the next 3 to 4 years. Jordan already, said everything I definitely feel about Collins. I feel the same way. Smith is I was I mean we were talking about it earlier, Pat, before the show, how high some people have Van Der Esch still, and it could end up maybe being the same situation for Smith, where if they got Keanu Neal and Van Der Esch and Micah Parsons out there, that eventually there might not be enough tackles to go around. But I still think Smith is definitely the best guy out there, so shouldn't be an issue. But it's going to be interesting to see what the Cowboys do defensively this year, because they switch coordinators and they brought in some new guys, so I think it's going to be really interesting to see what they end up doing. Winfield, I like a lot. Another really good young player. And, Hurts obviously could have a bunch of rushing potential, which pays off the biggest. So I think you'll have a pretty solid year. It's just a matter of if the Eagles can stay healthy. And then, if you can get a wide receiver, that'd be the big thing. And, I know you mentioned possibly trading up. And, I have a feeling you might know a person or two that, is willing to trade back. So, you could always make that work if you wanted. But other than that, I think, your roster is all set for the year. So nothing I would be worried about. I think, it's definitely going to be a tight race in that division this year.
Yeah, it is. It's unfortunately one of the harder divisions.
Yeah, definitely.
It is what it is. I like a good challenge. So let's get it going.
Yeah.
We're at this point we're 19 minutes in, and we got a mock draft we still got to do, guys. We have got
Well, before we move on, who did the kids of America choose?
Oh yeah, the Kids of America. Let's see who the kids' choice was. Let me pull this up on Twitter really quick. I forgot about that. That's what we were calling it. Oh man. Let's see. We actually had a decent amount of votes, and no, I did not go and vote for myself with a bunch of burner accounts. If anyone's asking, so it was 7% for Step Brothers Fantasy Company, 0% for Eastside Brawlers, 29% for Afternoon Delights, and 64% for myself.
Man, I demand a recount.
Demand a recount.
I have a feeling that 7% was a one vote from Matt.
I know. I think Matt voted for it herself.
He might have got one other
The
person
fact
to
that
vote for
Eastside
it.
Brawlers didn't get any except Rose Fantasy Company did says a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Social media influence.
exactly. Oh man, but yeah, I'm getting slimed, I guess, at some point,
Nice.
along
Yeah,
with
congratulations.
Mitch Trubisky. Me and Mitch
Yeah,
have
I
something
was
in
about
common. All right,
Yeah,
y'all ready to fire it
got the
up?
same kind of playoff.
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So this, guys, what you're about to view, it is highly top secret. No, I'm just kidding. This is our mock draft board, which we're gonna kind of use honestly for the what do you want to call it? I'm blanking right now. Kind of to guide us, I feel like, when we're looking at the actual draft and trying to remember where rookie picks were used, so that way someone's not using a pick that's actually already been used. So this right here is going to be a pretty good guide for us. Let's see here. Making sure the draft board is loading on everyone else's side. Let's see. All right. Well, we'll just get it going. It looks like it's kind of... There it is. Now it's working. Sweet. Awesome. All right. So the first pick, we've got Dirty Mike and the boys. So, Jordan, this is your pick.
Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna lead it off and pick for Dirty Mike and the boys. And all the talk has been he's going Mike Davis, like there's no running backs available. But this is just me banking on him not paying too close of attention and him seeing star power names when he goes to draft, and I'm gonna slot in Aaron Rodgers for Dirty Mike.
Nice. That's, I think that's a reasonable pick for Mike. Like, I mean, Mike's kind of a wild card in our league. I feel like if there's someone that's hard to predict, it's Mike. That's a tough one. We've mock draft for a couple years now. I feel like leading up to draft day, and Mike is always that guy that's like, I have no idea what Mike's gonna do with this pick. Like, I know what Mike should do with the pick, but what will Mike actually do with the pick? That's a different story entirely.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find Aaron Rodgers on the cheat sheet that we had made. Let's see here. Aaron. Where you at? Nope, not Aaron Jones. There we go. Bringing him over to the draft board. There it is. Oh, that didn't work.
Aaron.
I'm just going to type it in. There we go. At least for now. So we got Aaron Rodgers, first pick in the draft. Next up, we've got Steel Curtain picking with Mufasa Moneymaker's original pick. So, Steven, this is you picking for Cody.
Yep. Nice. Me picking for Cody out of my slot. Sounds good. I think here, Cody definitely wants a quarterback. It's really like his only team need. I know he's probably really hoping Rodgers falls, but if this happens this way, I think he might shift Ryan Tannehill, somebody who had a really great year last year, and then, obviously added Julio Jones to his team this year, so you would probably just expect him to do even better. So I think that would probably be the next pick.
Okay, so Ryan Tannehill. Nice. 2 quarterbacks going in the first few picks. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Well, our next pick is Eddie, who's a rookie GM. So I kind of know just from playing with most people in the league, like kind of what people would normally do and how they think. But Eddie, I have no clue. He's a rookie in the league, and he is desperate for a running back. And for me, I feel like it's probably going to end up being Mike Davis with this pick, I would imagine.
Yeah, if he's there, I think for sure. unless he likes Darrell Henderson more. I mean, we'll get to him maybe down the line, but
Yeah,
it's kind of like one of those two.
that's kind of what I'm thinking. All right, so I'll go again here, and this is Mafali, this is your pick actually.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see. I'm trying to think here, based off.
Yeah, I was
What you
telling
got.
Jordan earlier what I was thinking of doing. So
Let's see if I can get it. Let's see if I can get it right, and you can tell me if I'm in the ballpark. You don't have to tell everyone what you're actually thinking. If you
oh
don't
yeah,
want to.
yeah.
Let me.
He said,
Let's see. So you've got J.K. Dobbins already. So running back wise, I don't think you have to go pull the trigger here on anyone necessarily.
Mhm.
Receiver, you got Michael Thomas, who's injured, but you got enough draft capital where I feel like you could fall back on a receiver a little bit later. And then on top of that, let me slide over here to my defensive rankings. Are you gonna go Tremaine Edmonds with this pick? Am I in the ballpark?
I could definitely go. I might go linebacker, but I actually might lean running back just because
Really?
I'm not too sold. I like Dobbins, but I'm not 100% sold. And if something comes down to it, I could always end up trading a running back eventually. But I just feel like with all the value they have, I just kind of want to solidify that. And it just seems like the smart pick because there's nobody that really blows me away there. So
Okay. So you're going.
I would probably say Darrell Henderson would probably be my next favorite.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of how do you spell Darrell's name.
I think it's Darrel, and then Henderson with the E.
I think there's two on the spreadsheet. There's two L's, but
Two L's, Darrell.
yeah, I could be wrong.
All right. Well, that's all right. Close enough. All right, Steven, you're up, and you've got Burrow's body count picking with Hashling Slasher's original pick here.
Yeah, so for me, looking at his roster, he's got his QB. I think he's got really every starting position, but he's also possibly looking running back. So, I don't know really who's left there at running back next after Henderson, but that is probably his one biggest need right there, unless he, maybe just goes best defensive player available. It really would be a tough pick for him there because I think his one big need is running back. So, we'll see what happens. I'm trying to go to the offensive doc here and see what maybe running back is like the top after.
That's the thing. There's really not. I mean, I almost think you could, if you wanted to, you could wait on running back until the next round if he has a pick.
Yeah, so he already has two linebackers. I might say, I don't know. He got Will Fuller in the waiver, so I'll say maybe he goes wide receiver. But I'll just say he goes maybe Edmonds, like the top
Terrell Edmonds.
line. But yeah, I don't know. That's a weird pick for me, honestly, where he would go there. Because unless he goes wide receiver, I'll say, but I'll just say Terrell Edmonds, I guess, or Tremaine Edmonds. I mean.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna switch that. I'm gonna say DK Metcalf. He takes. I'm just gonna say a wide receiver. I think he might just say. He might end up just cutting Will Fuller and just going with DK. Getting that solidified wide receiver one.
Okay. Are you gonna type it in?
Oh yeah, hold on. I'll do that. So I'm just looking
Okay.
through this right now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Fantasy Pros has the consensus best linebacker available as Zach Cunningham. Now, whether or not people in our league value him as number one linebacker is a different story. I'm not sure. I like him a lot, and I do think he's the best one available just because their team is so garbage. I think that Cunningham is just going to rack up tackles. It's not going to be pretty, but he's just going to get a ton of volume this year. And should have a good season in our league at least. Whether or not it's an actual good NFL season is a different story. But Jordan, I think this is your pick here, picking for Step Bros Fantasy Company.
Okay, I'll go ahead and solidify his quarterback position and give him Matthew Stafford.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, no love for Tom Brady.
I know. He's got arguably
I
better weapons.
really Yeah, this might just be more of a personal preference, but the Rams' offense is slinging around, especially now. And Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods are probably the most underrated duo in the league.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
better hope Tom Brady doesn't hear this. So.
I hope
Yeah,
he does hear this. That means we made
I
it.
hope I hope
Hey,
Tom's listening.
I do.
Hey, Tom.
Devin White does our intro, so he may
Yeah.
very well.
Yeah.
Shout out Devin White.
Tom, if you're listening, Steven's a huge fan, to say the least.
Cinnamon oil. Yeah.
All right, Jordan, I'll let you type in Step Bros Fantasy Company's pick there. While
I actually don't think I'm on the same page as you guys. So
Oh, okay. All right, well, I'll type it in.
yeah, I've been lost for a while, but I'm still chugging along.
Okay. All right, so Jordan, you're up again with the Leprechauns Lobos pick here. Who already has Richie
Okay.
Grant, Michael Carter, Antonio Gibson, Zach. No, wait. That's not his quarterback, is it? No, sorry, he traded. That's right. That's not his pick. He traded that pick, sorry, to New Orleans Voodoo, and that's New Orleans Voodoo's pick.
No, I'll
Zach
go
Wilson.
the same way, and he's got a fairly solid roster. I mean,
Yeah, I
he
like
would
it.
also want to solidify his roster with a quarterback, and I'll slot Tom Brady in for the Lobos.
Okay. Here we go. Tom Brady, quarterback, going to the Leprechauns Lobos with this pick. Which, Steven, I think you're up again,
Yep.
if I'm right. Yeah.
I think Eastside Brawlers. I think he's going to go with a pass catcher and somebody I might have overlooked because he's not a wide receiver. But I think he might go Travis Kelce with this pick. So that'd be
Okay.
my pick here for him. Solidify that even though we're going to say wide receiver one, he puts up those numbers, but technically a tight end. But I think that's where he might lean that way,
Okay.
just based on looking at his roster and just what he needs.
So we had DK Metcalf going to Burrow's body count earlier, and this is his
Yeah.
last pick, I want to say, until, I could be wrong, but I want to say his last pick until like the 4th round or 3rd round.
Oh no, he has 309.
He has 309. Okay.
He actually has 309 and 311, so he has 2/3.
So at this point, he's got Trevor Morag at safety. He's got Kyle Pitts. He has DK Metcalf. So his receiving core is pretty much solidified at this point. He won't be going receiver if he goes DK that early. And I'm trying to think. He's also, of course, got his quarterback solidified with Joe Burrow, of course. I mean, hence the team name. And this part I'm not sure about. Like, does he keep waiting on the running back, or does he pull the trigger here with this pick? But again, there's really no one at this point worth going after Mike Davis and Henderson are gone. So, let me go take a gander down here real quick. Let's see.
You would have James Robinson available if
James Robinson, yeah, but I feel like James Robinson will be there when he picks again. Maybe I'm wrong as we go through this. What's his?
That's not a bad pick either, though. I mean, he's decent value, I think, but
What's his
it's definitely-
linebacker core like right now?
he has Chin
Jeremy Chin.
and he has Bolton, I believe.
Okay.
Yes, he has Nick Bolton and Jeremy Chin,
And
and he has Jabril Peppers as a safety. So I feel like he has like
gosh,
his
yeah, he's got
linebacker one and safety one.
he's got pretty much everything set.
Yeah, he's got a set team. He really has a
He
solid
could
team.
actually, if he wanted to. Some people would do this, some wouldn't for sure. But he could go defensive line here and go get a stud if he wanted.
Yeah, possibly. That wouldn't be too. Well, I mean, he's got Bosa, so I mean, he's got like.
Oh, he does have
Almost-
Bosa? Never mind.
Yeah,
man.
he has Joey Bosa, so.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, I mean, he could literally do anything here. I mean, you could go get, like, literally a top 5 linebacker, arguably, here with Zach Cunningham / Tremaine Edmonds. Or you could go get the running back. again, I just think the running back is going to be there if he waits. I'm going to give him Zach Cunningham. I mean, I think he goes best overall, and at this point, Zach Cunningham is a steal of a pick this late in the draft. I would poop my pants if Zach Cunningham fell to me at this pick. So we're going to go with Zach Cunningham, which I love. He's probably got the best linebacker core in the league if he pulls that move with that pick. And then I've got Mr. 300 here. He's got, hang on, Trevor Lawrence. I think that is your pick, actually, Mafali, right?
Let's see.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the first round though. So where are we?
We're
We're in the second round. Yeah.
Yeah,
you're on the second round row there.
Yeah.
Cunningham, Mr. 300. Yeah, that's technically my pick, so I should change the color.
Yeah, change the color up there. But he's got Bobby Wagner. He's got Dak Prescott. So 2 stud players there. And a running back, well, he did have a running back. But due to an injury in L.A., he no longer does. So, goodness. I mean, considering the fact that I don't think, does he not pick until the 4th round? Am I right about that?
Who?
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, I think it's this pick and then again in the 4th for him.
He's got to go running. That sucks. I mean, if I'm him, I'm trying to trade back at that point.
Hold on, let me see his team. Let's go to.
He does have a 7th that I'm seeing on here.
Oh no, I'm sorry. He actually has 123 as well. He actually has a few picks here that it just like he moved around a lot as well.
Okay.
A lot of his picks aren't his original. So he has a 112, a 123, a 323, and a 324, and a 413, which I believe is his original.
Okay. Yeah, I think for Mr. 300, maybe go. Goodness gracious, this is another guy who could go in like a million different directions.
Yeah, he does have Chase Edmonds he could fall back on from his waiver draft, but he might be leaning running back as well here since he lost Cam Akers.
Yeah. I guess I'm thinking, does he have a receiver?
No, he does not actually. Nope.
Okay, that's where we're going here with this pick. Like I said, I think we can still wait on the running back. I know you feel like you got ants in your pants when you're talking about Chase Edmonds as your RB1, but I feel pretty good with Justin Jefferson at this pick. I really like that, honestly. Fantasy Pros consensus wide receiver 7, which is pretty average for the most part. Yeah, I think that's a good pick. That's where we're going here. And that's going to give him at least a solid receiver to build on for a while because he's so young. I mean, he could literally be your guy for a couple years if you wanted him to be.
Yeah.
All right, so Steven, you're up again. You're picking for a Jiu-Jitsu Jesus with this pick.
All right. Let's see. So
shit. I was thinking I was picking for him, so I had to get ready for mine.
Oh wait, no, I think Jordan is picking for you because didn't you just pick Pat?
Yeah, I just picked.
Okay, no, it is me. Yeah, you're right, Jordan first. So let's see. He's already got 2 wide receivers, so he's not going to go there. Safety. I say he goes quarterback or linebacker. Well, I'm going to lean linebacker. I think he's going to wait on a quarterback. So I'd probably slide Tremaine Edmonds in there for him.
Okay, that's a good guy. That is great. If Tremaine Edmonds falls that far, that is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That means I get a linebacker now.
That was what I was going to mock to him. So we were in agreement. I think he would wait on a quarterback as well.
Yeah, I talked to Matt a few times about, trading up for somebody, but he was like, "Nah, it's not worth it." He's like, "I'll just wait for whoever." So
he's always like that. Like you got to think. I want to say his 2 championships. He had a really young Dak that got hot at the end of the year, and a really old Ryan Fitzpatrick. So,
nice. So yeah, not a big value of the quarterback position for sure.
Yeah, he likes to ride the hot hand.
Yeah.
All right.
So now we got the Lobos.
Yep, that's right.
Where did we go for him earlier?
Let's see. What do we do for
Earlier,
him?
the Batard Lobo selected
That was
Tom
the Mike
Brady.
Davis pick. Or was that Tom Brady?
He got Tom Brady, and did he get someone else too?
Yeah. No, that was his first pick because he has
Got
you
old
know,
I
he
got
Tom.
you.
yeah, he took Tom Brady.
Yeah, he's actually someone. If I didn't give him Tom, I was definitely gonna give him a linebacker last time, which he could still do. But I feel like this could fairly still work out in his favor, and I would mock him. Somebody like Levante David, I feel like could still have a huge year. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Levante David here is solid. All right, cool. We'll keep moving. Jordan, you're up again with Steven's pick here from Boston Moneymakers.
ooh, would we already give you Henderson?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
I can tell
So
you,
you would
definitely
have
the
two.
defense here, without a doubt.
Okay. So I will mock you. Okay, hang on, I got you. I'm gonna mock you. We'll say you take a chance on Deion Jones.
Okay.
Nice.
He's probably screaming dumbass.
Yeah, very much. You know.
Oh man, Deion Jones though is a solid pick. I mean, Fantasy Pros linebacker 15, so I mean that's pretty good.
Yeah, he had a couple other options. I mean, there were still some solid defensive ends and stuff, but he's got Chandler on the taxi, and I feel like he could maximize his value a little more here. A number one linebacker, which I don't think you have. Sherwood's your only linebacker, so
Yeah.
you got to do something.
That could be. I could already tell you that he's not staying on the roster past the draft
Yeah,
unless he makes some miraculous leap in the depth chart at camp. So.
All right, Jordan, you are. Or no, sorry, Steven, you're picking for Jordan.
No, that's funny. You know, Jordan picks for me. Now I pick for Jordan. Let me give Jordan a really shitty pick like he gave me here.
do it.
Let's see. I'm gonna say Jordan goes with. Let's go with the board here. I'm gonna say Jordan goes AJ Brown here. It's
AJ
a wide
Brown.
receiver one.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any linebackers he's gonna like anymore, and unless he's gonna go get another safety, like maybe as a flex.
yeah,
go
you could go
behind
get a really solid flex player there to make up for the lack of
Yeah.
like a top-notch safety or linebacker if you wanted. Yeah, at this point, Demario Davis seems to be the best according to Fantasy Pros, and Jerome Baker after that. So I'd probably
Yeah, I would probably
pass.
gonna lean. I'm gonna give him AJ Brown.
I like it. There's
Yeah.
still plenty of DB depth too at this point too. So
Yeah, DB's another position I think is really deep. Because like not many people draft corners. Just because it's not as like, it's not as cool. It's usually just guys that are getting torched.
yeah,
In one-on-one matchups. But either way, there usually is corners who actually end up scoring a bunch. Like Marlon Humphrey, for example, is probably one of the top scorers, but he's kind of overlooked because he's a corner. So
yeah.
safety.
Okay,
But yeah, I'll give Jordan AJ Brown there.
cool. All right, so I'm picking for Jiu-Jitsu Jesus here, who earlier we had him passing on a quarterback in order to go get Tremaine Edmonds, which was a solid pickup, like I said earlier. So now he's got his linebacker core pretty much set. He's got Chris Carson running back, Aaron Donald at defensive line, Jonathan Abram at safety, and he's already got 2 receivers. I guess at this point, I mean, why not go quarterback? You know what I mean? Why not just go lock up that last position, arguably, that you need.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think, Jordan? I mean, you know Matt better than I do. So, do you think he maybe goes and gets
Yeah.
a flex player here, or does he go get a quarterback?
Depending on who the quarter. Let's see who would be the best quarterback
Probably
available.
best quarterback. Again, I'm just doing this based off Fantasy Pros for time's
Yeah.
sake and unbiased as well. I want to say they've got Ryan Tannehill's gone, Tom Brady's gone, Matthew Stafford's gone, Joe Burrow's gone, Matt Ryan, Kirk Cousins is probably the best, arguably. You got Ryan.
I can definitely see
Baker
Matt holding
Mayfield.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah, with names like that, I could still see him holding off, but it wouldn't surprise me if he starts reading up on one. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if he like Ryan Fitzpatrick one more time. You know what I mean?
yeah.
He hasn't had weapons like this in a while, so he may have a resurgence. Ben
I could see him
Roethlisberger may have a
going.
resurgence.
I could see him going after someone like John Johnson, like a stud safety, and
Yeah, I could
and
definitely
flexing
see
that.
I like it for him.
Trying to really solidify his defense.
Yeah, and like I said, just use him as your flex guy, which is
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
flex is definitely an important position. If you can get a really good defensive player who's putting up 30 plus a game, you know, that's another position where you can get a lot of points from.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then I'm getting New Orleans Voodoo here, who's an interesting cat just because he is new to the league still. So we don't have much to go off of. He's kind of a wild card. But, you know, you got Sam Hubbard and George Kittle in the waiver wire. He's got Devin Bush, Tyreek Hill, Josh Jacobs, Zach Wilson. So quarterback, he's good. You know, and linebackers solidified for the most part. He needs a defensive back here. And there are some good DBs. And he's got, I mean, he could almost go 2 defensive backs in this round and just have one of the best DB cores in the league. I mean, honestly, like, Justin Simmons would be a great pick here because he's still available.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like that pick a lot. And, I mean, he's still young. There's high upside there. I mean, there's Kevin Byard, but I would feel a little bit better with Justin Simmons. And then you got Harrison Smith. He's older. So I think Justin Simmons is probably a really good pick here. Whoops, wrong place. For New Orleans Voodoo. So that's who I'm giving him. At safety. All right, Steven, you're up. You're going for Jameson here.
Yeah, I'm really torn because I was just about to give him Kevin Byard actually, because like really all he needs is safety. But I see his only safety is Amani Hooker, so I don't know how he would feel about both the safeties being on the same team. But so I guess I'll just give him the next best on the list because really I think he has to go safety here. I mean, maybe because he doesn't pick again until 320, and this is really, unless he plans on starting Amani Hooker, which he might, but I think he tries to go get maybe solidify his safety position, get like Harrison Smith. So,
okay.
Or maybe he just doesn't mind the whole both of them on the same team against Byard. I would prefer Byard personally, but I'll just say for the sake of like not wanting to have him on the same team, I'll just give him Harrison Smith because he's also a great player still. So
yeah. I mean, he could also go after Trace Walker, Keanu Neal, but Harrison Smith is a safe pick.
Yep.
And Jameson's kind of like me. He's a little conservative with his picks. He doesn't typically, feel like he's overreaching for a player. So I think Harrison Smith is safe. I know he doesn't like to go DB that early, and so part of me wonders like, would he go DB? Would he go receiver here? I don't know. It's kind of that'll be an interesting thing to watch. But New Orleans Voodoo's up next, Jordan. Who you're picking for?
Yeah, I think I'll just go with the way you were saying with the 2 DB idea isn't bad at all for him, considering what his offense already looks like. So with him leaving Byard, I would slot Byard in right there, and Voodoo may have the best safety duo in the league. Probably not may, does have the best safety duo in the league.
Okay. Yeah, definitely, 100%. And then now you're
Yep.
picking for Mr. 300, Jordan. The last
Okay.
pick in the first round.
What did we
And
already give him?
so I know its roster right now without the pick earlier is Dak Prescott, Cam Akers, who's done, Bobby Wagner,
Yeah.
Chase Edmonds, and Logan Wilson. Earlier we mocked him
Yeah.
getting Justin Jefferson.
I'll say Colby just tries to capture anything, and I'll say he's the one that takes the chance on James Robinson
Okay.
being a little more part of that. What we're expecting just because he's in desperate need. Uh, I mean, because that James Robinson is still going to get touches, in my opinion. He's not going to
Right.
be excluded from the offense,
Yeah, yeah.
and he needs running back help. So James Robinson to Mister 300.
Okay. Steven, you're up here picking for the Spurs' first pick of the draft.
Yeah, so I feel like the obvious pick here is Cam Newton for him, but you know, I think that's where I might be leaning here. I don't know for sure, but I think Cam Newton might be the real obvious pick here. But in terms of like what he needs, it would either be that or a D end, because of course he's going to go starter because he doesn't pick again until the 5th, so he's either going to get a starting quarterback or like his starting D end. So I would definitely lean towards the starting quarterback. He'd probably go after, and the rankings might say somebody's better than Cam Newton, but those are usually wrong. So the rankings, let's see who else is there though, just in case. Let's see, QB. Sorry, guys, trying to see who's left here at quarterback after all the keepers and stuff. I mean, you know what? Screw it. We're not waiting. He's getting Cam Newton. Cam, you got no choice. You're stuck with Cam Newton.
There was shoot. There is Baker Mayfield available still, and Kirk Cousins.
Nope, that'll be if he does that, I'll never let him live it down. So he's got to get old Cam Newton right here.
All right.
He knows he wants him. He can downplay it all he wants, but look at that. Those first two picks, Derrick Henry and Cam Newton, nobody's going to mess with you. Look at those two guys are monsters.
Okay, I mean, Cam
Imagine
Newton.
that backfield in real life.
Yeah, I know. For real. Cam Newton, honestly, will get rushing yards. So I mean, there is upside there. No joke about that. All right, so I've got Hashling Slasher's pick, and I want to say this is his first pick of the draft. So there's a lot of pressure right here, not to screw this up for him.
Yeah, you got to hit.
That's right. Alrighty, so we're going Hashling Slasher's first pick of the draft. I'm pulling up the roster right now just to make sure I know where we go. So we got Lamar Jackson, QB's good. Justin Jefferson, a receiver. Wait a second, did we not mock him? Someone, Justin Jefferson.
Yes, Justin Jefferson's already been mocked to somebody.
Oh crap. Okay, well that changes a lot. We'll just swap out another receiver for Colby, anyways. I was thinking receiver no matter what. So, give me 1 second. Let me go find someone else. Dang, I'm surprised I missed that. Well, now I know to mark Justin Jefferson off. He gone.
You gone.
He
Yeah,
gone.
we'll go back and give him BK.
I think DK was picked before then. Let's see.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just scrolling up. Keenan Allen's the best. I don't think he does Keenan Allen. AJ Brown, maybe Allen Robinson, Robert Woods, Amari Cooper. I mean, I love Amari Cooper, and Colby is a Dallas fan. So,
Oh yeah, I think that's a pretty safe pick there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
We'll
might
go with
actually
that.
make more sense if he drafts. Gets everyone likes to get a my guy right from your team, so
Oh yeah,
I
got
do.
David Harris for that reason.
that's part of the fun. So we're giving Amari Cooper instead.
We actually have a 5-minute warning on our recording, just so
No.
you guys
Okay.
know.
So we have 5 minutes. So we probably won't finish the entire second round then, but we'll just get as far as we can until we got to stop. So,
Yeah,
anyways,
let's rapid fire.
yeah, Hashling Slashers here. Only thing he really needs is a safety, so I'm going to go safety here for him, just because there's really no other running backs for him to go and get at this point, in my opinion. Might as well just wait. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Keanu Neal having the opportunity to play in the box this year in Dallas and a safety, I'm excited about that. I'm going to give him Keanu Neal, and I feel good about it
Mm-hmm.
for the Hashling Slashers.
Okay. There we go. And the next would be the
New
Voodoo.
Orleans Voodoo. Okay, so we gave him Kevin Byard. Let's see. New Orleans Voodoo. So we got a safety and a
He
safety.
still, I mean,
He could
he
honestly
could use
go.
some linebacker depth. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him the linebacker here for sure. I would say. So
Yeah.
we'll just give him we'll
Miles
give
Jack.
him, or unless I'll say we'll give him like Foyesade Akunda from Atlanta.
God, I love that.
Okay.
If he falls that far, I mean, someone robbed the
Oh,
bank.
actually, or you know what? I'm gonna go up the list a little bit. Actually, I actually think he might take Miles Jack because
That's
especially
true.
because they just
Yeah,
got rid
that's
of.
what
Joe Schobert's gone. He's the number one
Yeah.
linebacker now.
Yeah, so no, I'd actually think Miles Jack shoots up the board here a little bit.
Okay.
So I'll give him Miles Jack. It's actually a great value pick. Now I think based off these rankings, before that trade, probably I think he would shoot up this board a little bit after that. Maybe not a bunch, but there's a couple guys that could definitely see him over now that it's just him out there, and no more Schobert.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so you want to give him the linebacker?
Miles Jack.
Yeah.
Yep. I think he'll go get his flex linebacker, or technically like a backup linebacker, but he's got all his other positions secured. So
Cool. And then we've got a Beeson Parks pick here, Jordan. If you want to make a pick for him.
I would say he needs some safety help, so I'll mock him Minka.
Minka. Ooh.
Yeah, I feel like Minka, whole year in that Pittsburgh defense, he can have a solid year.
Okay. I like it. And Mafali's up. So Jordan, you're picking for Mafali here with this pick. This is crazy. Yeah, you're
All
still
right.
picking.
Well, what do you need?
What do you mean?
I would just throw
What do
me
you-
under. I would go wide receiver here probably or something.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna mock him. I told you I love the duo. I'll mock him Robert Woods.
Robert
Okay.
Woods. It is.
Not like the worst pick, but probably pretty bad. Still, I wouldn't know. Probably never do that.
I love him with Stafford.
And funny enough, Steven, you're picking for Jordan now.
Good. He's getting
Give it to
something
me.
terrible. What do you need, Jordan?
I could use. You mocked me A.J. Brown earlier. I could use a defensive end.
All right, so I'll give you Brian Burns. I feel like that's
Ooh.
a good homer pick there. And
Oh, that's a solid pick.
yeah, go get you
I
Brian
would,
Burns.
I would have a Chubb if that happened.
There you go. Well, there you go, guys. Get ready for a Chubb if you let Brian Burns fall to Jordan. You guys got to be there to watch that too. That are live. You guys are gonna have like 14 of you live watching him, and I want pressure on him too. If he drafts him, I want everyone looking like, hey, where's your Chubb, bud?
Where's your Chubb?
What's going on the OnlyFans?
I think honestly, Beeson Park goes linebacker here with this pick. By the way, name me the best linebacker you've seen on that list, Steven.
Let's see. Oh, sorry. Hold on.
We're probably about to get disconnected.
I'd probably say Demario Davis.
It's not bad at all, especially considering they have no offense.
Yeah, right.
We're almost done.
That might be our last pick then, I guess, if we're
Right.
gonna get kicked off.
Yeah, I think so. How are we on time? Let's see.
I think there's a minute left.
Under.
We got under a minute. All right. Well, we'll just call it an episode then, guys. Sorry we weren't able to finish everything. We might just do some of these for fun later on, too, if guys want to actually do it together, more of us. But we will catch you guys next week for our next Power Rankings episode. It should just be pure Power Rankings, so we'll focus more in that. But we will catch you guys next week. Have a great weekend, everyone.